So I was asked the other day what I think about additives. So the person had in mind particularly fuel additives, but there's also a whole range of oil additives out there. You go through any automotive or car parts store, you'll see a wide range of different things, and they all make different claims. They're all claiming to improve the power, the performance, or the reliability of the engine. So do these actually work? In this video, I'm just going to discuss my thoughts and feelings on the majority of additives out there, due to the fact that I've wasted a lot of money over the years, and certainly I've been disappointed with the results. So the first category really is those fuel additives. So some fuel additives claim to increase the octane. They often do. It's not too difficult to increase the octane rating of fuel. But does that mean you'll make more power? Well, not really. The octane resists burning. It allows the engine to maybe use a little more fuel to make a little more power if the engine has been designed for those higher octane fuels. So if you put the high octane fuel and a high octane additive to an engine that is not designed to use it, you're wasting your money. It's really not going to do anything for you. It's not going to improve the performance at all. And those additives are actually quite expensive. Look at the price of those additives and compare that to the price of a litre of fuel. So a lot of these additives here in the UK will cost between £5 and £15 for a bottle. The bottle is often only about 200, 250 millilitres. We pay about £1.50, £1.70 per litre of fuel. So you're ramping up significantly the cost of fueling your vehicle. So octane additives or octane improvers are useful in a race environment. Maybe you can't quite get the high octane fuel that you wanted, that your engine has been set up for. So they can be a stopgap to raise cheaper fuel up to the level of these maybe race fuels that you were hoping to use. But in the main, octane boosters are irrelevant for most people and for most engines, so they're generally best avoided. The other category of fuel additive is the injector cleaner. Now, some of these can be very, very effective at cleaning the injectors. I've seen results where injectors have been quite clogged up, quite silted up over time with all the impurities that collects around the nozzles. And these fuel cleaners can actually go some way to reducing that. But bear in mind, most fuels that you buy here in the UK, particularly the premium fuels, already have additives in them to clean the fuel system. So the key though is getting a good quality additive. A lot of additives that you buy are predominantly a carrier. So within, say, a 200 millilitre bottle, you might have just 20, 25 millilitres of the active ingredient that does the cleaning. So you may think you're buying a vast quantity of liquid to put into your fuel tank, but actually you're not. You're buying a lot of base carrier with a little bit of active ingredient. So let me know which fuel cleaners you've actually used and found to be effective. Now, it's fair to say that most people get enthusiastic. You put a fuel cleaner through your engine and there's that placebo effect. Everything feels better. You put that down to the fuel cleaner itself. So when you go on forums and online, there is a lot of opinion. A lot of people are particularly enthusiastic about a product, but actually they've never really tested it. They're just going on a gut feeling. So I can't say that I've tested every single fuel cleaner out there, but I have used some from the BG range, which I particularly like. I've not been paid or sponsored to say that. I just found them to be more effective. I've noticed improved MPG consistently after using that. I've noticed that the emissions from the engine have been improved after using those cleaners. And that's something that I've personally been able to repeat. So on the basis of that, I'm recommending those BG fuel cleaning products. So other additives that might be useful at certain times are the catalysts, the DPF cleaners, the things that enable the car to burn off the soot particles that have collected in those pollution control systems. So there's a wide range of differences in the way these work. Some just lower the temperature at which the soot burns off. Others Others raise the temperature of the exhaust gases, effectively causing everything to be much hotter. So in certain circumstances, they can cause problems. So you do need to understand what the problem is and what the correct type of additive is. But in some situations like that, those additives can go a long way to improving the service life of those components of the vehicle. So next we come to oil additives. Now again, like fuel, oil comes with an additive pack. Often the manufacturer of the engine have specified certain additives to go into the oil to improve the lifespan of the engine. A lot of these engine oil additives are claiming to improve the way the oil sticks to the engine. So you actually want sticky oil. Let's just think about that for a moment. You want the engine oil to bond to the surfaces, but you also want it to flow around the engine fairly freely. You don't want any negative deposits going into the oil that can be burnt through the combustion chamber and then collect and cause problems in the catalyst or the DPF filter. So we do need to be very careful as to what additives we're chucking into our oil. Some oil additives improve the lubricity of the oil, and I've seen some of them to be quite effective. I've had comments on here from people that recommend particular brands of oil additive. They won't actually use an oil without this particular brand of additive. So if it's something you've tried and you're happy with, and you have actually seen tests and reports that show that these additives are doing what they claim, then that's a good thing. In some situations, cars will burn oil, and there are additives you can get that you add to the oil that stop it from burning. So they help to resist the oil seeping into the cylinders past the rings. So they can be quite effective at reducing the way the engine burns oil. And cynically, that's the sort of additive that people use when they're trying to sell a dodgy car and it's burning oil, and they just want to hide that fact. But for the long-term use of a car, I would want to stick to those manufacturer recommended oil additive packs rather than add my own in and try and create my own formulation, because a lot of these are very, very generic, and a lot of modern engines have very specific requirements. You can actually cause all sorts of problems to the longevity and the lifespan of your engine just by using the wrong additive. So in general, don't rely on the advertising. Don't waste your money. If you have a specific problem, speak to a local qualified mechanic about the options, and they may well have experience and be able to recommend an additive that would be suitable for you. But don't go into these parts stores, read the boxes like I used to, and assume they're all going to be great for your engine, because in some cases they do nothing, you've wasted your money, and in other cases they can actually be causing problems or causing other damage to your engine, particularly in the long term. So be very careful out there. There's a lot of snake oil. The marketing departments are very good at selling their products. So thanks for watching. Please boot that like button if you found this video useful, and I've lined this video up for you that you should find really interesting. See you in this next video.